What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Cloud Slayer channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back to another Monday Ramble. I hope everybody had a great weekend. We had some awesome fights this past weekend of the UFC. Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling, or should I say Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley. But the results were, oh man, they were surprising to say the least for most people who they thought Aljamain Sterling was going to take him down and beat him up and ultimately win the fight. Either beat him on the ground or take him to decision where he rode the horse, right? So what ended up happening was Sean O'Malley ended up knocking out or TKOing Aljamain in the second round and within the first minute. And oh man, it was pretty good. So Aljamain Sterling underestimated his opponent. Sean O'Malley is now looking to defend his belt for the first time against Marlon Chito Vera, the one guy who has a victory over him in the UFC and throughout his whole MMA career, it looks like. Cause I believe he's undefeated. He has one loss. Not undefeated, but you know, he has one loss. I don't know why I said undefeated, but I'm a weirdo. Zhang Weili defended her belt against Amanda Lemos, went to decision, and she pretty much just dominated. She had way more significant strikes because she just took her to the ground and beat her up and had her way with her. So congratulations to her. And Chris Weidman's first fight back in about 2 years for breaking his leg. And it didn't end well for him. He ended up getting another injury. I believe it was the MCL. He tore MCL. So Dana White urged him to please retire, think of his health, think of his family and stuff like that. And, you know, it's some scary stuff. And I can only imagine being in that position of somebody that, you know, who was at the pinnacle of MMA for a little while. Well, I guess his name wasn't like the biggest, but from the standpoint of beating a legend like Anderson Silva in his prime, he not only beat him once, he beat him twice. And, you know, that was like the downfall of, or the coming down of a legend, you know. When legends fall, different legends rise, right? So I love Anderson Silva, love Chris Weidman, but you know, that choice is going to ultimately be his, whether he retires or whether he continues. And I hope for, you know, the hope for the best for him, that he ultimately chooses what's best for him and his family also, and that at least consider it. If not, then, you know, maybe he's a true fighter, you know, like he's gonna do what he's gonna do. And, you know, good luck to him. God bless him, and hopefully he continues to go on and find success with that stuff. If not, then I hope, you know, he's got so many other avenues. He's a well-spoken person. He could be like a MMA sports analysis or something. Analyst. All right, so I messed that one up. My bad, guys. But, you know, tis what it is and stuff like that. So, yeah. I think that's enough for the MMA news anyways, but that also brings to, you know, I don't know. Like I said, I like to talk about doing things. So if you're like bored, so it comes to like that retirement talk of, for Chris Weidman, I guess, like where would you go about finding new things, you know, like, if anybody has suggestions or anything that helped them, feel free to comment down below and, you know, fill in your thing. Because usually on this channel, that's all I do. But I love hearing other people's points of views on what they do to get better and what keeps them out of trouble, you know, and what keeps them preoccupied or going into the future. So it could be something as simple as just going to the gym, lifting some weights to help somebody feel like they got more of a purpose, or, you know, just walking, running. Those are some of the simplest things to help you keep your mind out of the gutter. not like a nasty humor, you know, but, you know, out of some of that depressive state, you know. Any kind of physical activity. You go play basketball, you go ride your bike, you know, ride a skateboard. Or like I said, just throw on some music, go for a walk, take a jog if that's what you want to do. Challenge yourself in distances. Challenge yourself in times during those distances or something. Or you could be shooting hoops, make 10 free throws in a row or something, for the day. Or can't even make one. Might as well practice there. You always want to play basketball when you're younger, but you were too scared to try, whether you thought you were inadequate or something, but in all reality, it isn't about whether you were good enough or not. It was whether or not you put forth the effort to do that. So if you want to start recording things, like record some of those precious memories that you're going to have with your family, or if you want to share them, share them on the YouTubes or something, the best thing to getting past that fear is to try to do it. You're going to fail. You're going to make an ass of yourself. You're going to look kind of dumb sometimes, but you know what? You're going to learn from it, and you're going to pick up, you're going to carry on, and you're going to get better, and you're going to learn from those mistakes. That's what life teaches you from a young age, and various things like that. So you might never find success being a YouTuber or anything like that, but at least you're trying. Nobody could judge you in that standpoint, because you're willing to put yourself out there, to share your story, to share other people's stories, to go out adventuring, to you're out there looking to better yourself, and you're looking to a better tomorrow. Sometimes it just never comes for some people, you might not get views. You might get views. So, good luck to you on your journey if that's what you're doing. And, wish all the best for everybody. Wish all the best for anybody that's willing to go and do those things. It's not easy. It's very hard, to try to be consistent, to try to not only like appease people that create like an expectation of you to create content, but that own expectation within yourself. There's nothing worse than disappointing yourself. I mean, like your kids, maybe, depends on who you are or how close you are, but there's like no worse feeling than disappointing yourself. You know what I mean? So my uncle once told me that nobody can kick your ass as much as you can kick your own ass within your mind. So, which is very true, because when you're in that negative rut, you're just sitting there, you're bashing yourself. You're like, you're just a fucking idiot. You're just this, you're just that. You're good for nothing. And you're stuck in that mindset. And, don't listen to that little bitch, don't listen to that little bastard. You pull yourself out, you start small, you do little goals, hit a workout, freaking ride a bike, spend some time with loved ones, and you'll see how great you are. You see how awesome you are, and you'll see that, just because your mind's telling you that doesn't make it true, and that, ultimately it is up to you to pull yourself out of that rut, to pull your head out of your butt and be more positive, be more positive, and try to do a little bit more instead of just feeling sorry for yourself, like it's easy to say, and it's also super fucking easy to be negative, being positive is never easy. It's one of the hardest things in the world, and no matter who you are, no matter how successful you are, that negativity always seems to come around, and depressions and stuff like that. And there's many people that off themselves who are full of success, who have great careers, but the grass is always greener on the other side. You don't know what they're going through within or anything like that. They could just be smiling. They're smiling for the cameras or smiling for their family because they don't want people to worry, but on the inside they're dying. They hate themselves, they hate whatever, and it's sad. It's a sad reality. It's a sad truth. And dude, it sucks. If you're on drugs and stuff like that, you rely on the drugs to get you out of your negative mindset too. They say it's the greatest feeling. I was watching this one dude. He was like a crackhead, but he worked for NASA. He was some kind of engineer. I can't remember what exactly his title was, but he was an engineer for NASA. And he was talking about how even though his shifts, he's like, I'm about to leave here in 30 minutes and pick up a score of crack. And they're like, how much crack do you usually get? And he's like, or cocaine, whatever. I thought they were the same thing, but I guess they're different. Crack, that was crack cocaine or something. But the guy said, I got about $200 on me. And he was like, and they're like, how much are you gonna get with that $200? He's like, look at $200 worth, you know? He's like, whenever I have money on me and I go and I want to score, that's, you know, whatever money's on me is going towards that. He's like, they were like, how much is the most you spent on this stuff? And he was like $1,500 was the most he said he spent. Who knows if that's true or not? Maybe he spent more, but you know, for a solo partier, that's pretty crazy. Like I said, I've never tried cocaine or anything like that, but I heard that it's one of the best drugs out there and stuff like that. People were like, "Oh, this is better." I'm like, "That's cool. Keep it to yourself." I don't really go out to try it. Like, the most I've done was prescription pills and marijuana. Not making it better. I did heroin that one time, and man, I'm never touching that shit again. You know, like that stuff ruins lives, and I just didn't see it. You know what I mean? I didn't see it. I didn't feel any of that shit. I felt like death. You know what I mean? I tried mushrooms, psychedelics, to see what that was. The first time was awesome, man. I felt so offloaded. I felt like everything was gonna be okay. I felt like, you know, I see brighter. I see all that stuff. You know, like I had nothing to be afraid of. That, you know, all those normal, typical little things that would bug me throughout a day, it actually didn't bug me, and that it felt like a mental clarity. And then I did it another time. Then it was like, I don't know, man. It's not always going to be the same. You're going to get like bad psychedelic experiences. But I'm not saying it was bad, but it felt like my heart was going to stop. So I was like, yeah, fudge this stuff, you know. And I was like, this can't be good. But, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes, you know, when you do those things that you know when you should continue to do those things or not. So at least you should. Sometimes, you know, like people that become hooked on drugs, even maybe they don't even like the experience, but like in their mind likes it. You know, it likes that feeling, that euphoric feeling of being taken away to a distant place within themselves. You know what I mean? Who knows where it takes them? Some people talk about floating purple people jumping on trees and shit like that. People talk about, you know, gods and angels and stuff like that. I've never seen any of that shit. Not with the drug, anyways. It was usually like during fasting times, you know, like spiritual, cultural times back before I even touched any drugs, you know. Most I did was probably smoke a cigarette, you know, which is, I suppose, a drug, but Native Americans see, just because they see tobacco differently doesn't mean it's not a drug, because it is a drug, especially when it's all pumped up with chemicals and shit like that. So if you get tobacco, get that all natural stuff, you know. It'll still give you an effect, but it's not going to be packed with all that arsenic and all that shit, you know. So a lot of natives nowadays are switching over to growing their tobacco all natural and not dumping a bunch of chemicals into it before using it, because they're mostly using it for prayer. I mean, I do see them smoking in pipes for ceremonial purposes, obviously, and prayer, which is, you know, that's what our people believe in. So sending those thoughts to the Creator through tobacco, through prayer, through belief and faith, you know. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful way of life, you know. But as is any other belief in life, if you're a Christian and stuff like that, when they teach you better morals, better values, and how to ultimately be a more positive thinker. That sometimes people do need to look at like an entity to help keep themselves on the right path, to keep themselves on the right road or something, And like, I'm not saying that, you shouldn't or anything like that. Like, good luck to you. Good luck to you if that's what you need, Like, you're realizing that you do need help. And sometimes it's nobody on this earth that can help you, that it's somebody, a creator, a God or something, that can only help you. And a religion or, a book of values. And, good luck to you when you're looking for help through that. I know many tough people in my life that, they were doing drugs, they were in gangs, they were doing this and that, but they found a religion, they found a way of life that helped them better themselves, to stay away from the drugs, to stay away from gang violence, to stay away from all that crap, to surround themselves with better people or the right people, So I don't think you should ever hate on people like that, because, like I said, I've seen many people come back from those things, from being gang members to being drug addicts to being this and that, some of the worst shit you can imagine, homeless and all that stuff. And they're great people, man. They're great people. They just had bad things in their life happen, and sometimes they like to say that opposite spirit, and loves to tempt you, and bring you over, and leads you down the path that you're not supposed to, and what? It's up to you, and it always will be, and always has been up to that person to keep themselves out of there, to do whatever they can to stay out of that, to help themselves grow and become better. And, good luck to you guys, man. I wish you as much luck as possible. And, I don't ever want to see anybody feel like that. I don't want to see anybody in that situation. It sucks, man. It sucks to be a part of those situations. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, you still don't when you better your life and stuff like that, but you have a better idea that you feel more safe and secure and stuff like that. You ain't got to worry about people robbing you or something like that, or, or you're going to die in your sleep, somebody can kill you in your sleep or something, You never know. I mean, like I said, they can still do it when you're more secure, right? But, when you find that peace within yourself and then you're able to relax, it's going to be a little bit better for you. And sometimes none of that shit's going to matter, You're going to come out better. You're going to come out stronger. Who's that? Kelly Clarkson. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So keep your heads up. Do your best to weed out those that aren't good for you in your life. And hold on to those dear to you. Hold on to those that help encourage you, to help you walk that better path. Because those ones that you put around you are going to be the building blocks to your success. And, even if you're not successful, that just means you got to try harder, I suppose. That's what they say. Anybody's capable of doing it. You just got to do it. There ain't nothing to it but to do it and stuff like that. But, sometimes it's not that simple. Sometimes shit happens, and sometimes, you're just meant to be who you are, and sometimes you just got to accept that. So, anyways, this is going to conclude this Monday Ramble. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new here, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're returning, hey guys, I appreciate you guys coming back and spending some time with me, listening to me ramble. I'm looking forward to a buddy. He's coming out. He wants to talk UAPs and stuff like that, and it's going to be my honor. I appreciate anybody reaching out to me. Remember, if you got any questions, you want to jump on a podcast, share any life experiences or anything like that, hit me up at cloudslayer53@gmail.com. I'll do my best to check that, because he's like, dude, you check your emails? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, dude, because I just made it, and I totally forgot about it, but now I'm checking it and stuff like that. So hit me up there. Even if you don't want to do a podcast or anything like that, you just want to talk and share your experiences and stuff like that. Well, by all means, hell, I was even thinking about having somebody like host a ramble, like like submit a ramble, and then maybe we'll post it on here, and stuff like that. So that would be awesome to hear somebody else's, what they would think, because this rambles, it's all about what's in your head and what you think about, and sometimes telling the truth that you're not willing to do while you're there in those situations, or you might not have thought of them. Who knows? They could be unspoken words. So anyways, I'm sorry, guys. I always butcher that. Have a good night. Peace.